everybody. My name is Matthew Munroe, and this will be, well, not really the first episode of Verses, but its preface. Um, I want to get some caveats out there and kind of explain why I'm doing this before I start putting out any information. So, this is not professional at all. I'm reading off of my phone, the notes that I have. I'm recording on my apartment. Um, I'm not an agent. I don't have anything to sell you. All I want you to do is to understand the truth. Once we understand the truth as an aggregate, life can get better for us all, right? So, this is Versus. It's going to be a program to help the viewer delineate between what is and what isn't. It's here to help people tell what is actually true of our lives, of our consciousness, and of the way the universe works, and what is an abstraction, what is an idea that's been given to us by another human being in order to sully or warp what we believe to be natural, what we believe to be the natural conditions, the truth. It's important to know this, and it's important to know the occult in general, because it leads to a power differential, right? Think about it this way. If you were a tenured professor at a college, psychology professor, let's say, right? You have 30 years in the field, you know everything basically there is to know about psychology. And if you really wanted to, you could do a number on pretty much anyone psychologically who's not in the same field as you are, who doesn't have the same experience. Now, picture you come home to your significant other, or you find out, you find out your significant other is cheating on you with somebody, right? If you wanted to be vengeful as a psychiatrist or psychologist with 30 years of experience, you could go and destroy that person's life, who your significant other is dealing with, mentally and psychologically, without ever having to touch them, without ever having to do anything physical to them. The things you can do are planting ideas, sowing discord, a whole myriad of things, a whole myriad of manipulations that could go on. Just think about it, right? This is what we are dealing with when it comes to us as normal people versus the people who control us, the people who put their power to use to control our very lives and to propagate slavery, because that's exactly what we live in. And if you don't agree, you don't have to. You're just wrong, unfortunately. So to continue, the power differential is very important. We get that knowledge. It can't be used against us anymore to cause our lives to be miserable or anything of that nature. Now, this is kind of rambly, but you might be wondering, how can I be so sure as to what's true and what isn't? And that's what I will be covering throughout the entirety of the show. You will be able to say with exact definitiveness as I am that this is the truth. But in order to get there are fundamentals that need to be, understood completely. And I'm going to bring those fundamentals to you episode by episode. It will be a series of information that grows upon itself. It will not be able to be watched partway through or on episode 5 or on episode 10. It would have to start in episode 1 because I'm going to cover from the basics all the way through. That's my intent anyway. Now, I really hope as well that I can inspire people to actually want to investigate this stuff and actually want to look into these things and make it as important as celebrity news or a new sneaker release or your sports team or whatever. It needs to be just as important as any one of those things in our lives. And one of the last things I really want to stress is, please don't just believe me. I'm not asking for that either. I'm not asking for your belief. I don't care what you believe. I want you to go and do the research, go and do the readings, go and look things up for yourself. I'm begging, I'm pleading, I'm groveling. I implore you. Do not listen to just what I'm saying and take it as truth, just maybe because you agree. Do not just listen and automatically count it as false because you disagree. Please look into the information that I will be presenting to you. Please look into the things that I will be trying to source to you. It's important to understand the fundamentals so that you can get what I'm talking about. And then you can use your own logic and piece it together and come to the exact same conclusion that I'm at. Okay? My very last caveat is do your best to try and shut off all the internal biases that you may have coming into this video, coming into any of my videos. Okay? You need to be open and receptive to the information that's being said to you, right? You can't hold on to any ideas or beliefs while you're receiving information, because then you kill the trivium at its base. You're not able to actually take in the grammar of what you're learning because you already are coming to some conclusion about it in your mind based off of prerequisite factors. We're getting that, right? Try to let those go. Try to ignore things like how I'm dressed, where I am, how I sound, how I look, whether you like me or not. None of that is really important. The only thing that's important is that you listen to the words that are leaving my mouth and you do the research, okay? I'm going to begin pretty much every episode with these caveats, more or less, until about, maybe 10 or 20 episodes in or whatever, just so people can understand that this is something you need to grasp and you need to understand before you can continue on with what I'm going to be speaking about. My plan is to try and do one of these every 2 weeks because it's a lot of information. It's a lot for me to compile, and it's a lot to learn. That may turn you off when you are investigating this. That may make you not want to learn about it, may not want to read about it. You can't be turned away because of that. You cannot be closed to the new information because it seems overwhelming. Take it piece by piece, chapter by chapter, day by day. Okay? It's not, well, I won't say it's not a rush for you to understand this. Things are kind of pretty bad. But take your time. Please take the time to slowly absorb the knowledge as you need to. Do not try to delve into it so super rapidly that you don't read with understanding. Also, don't just try to compile everything and read everything without actually absorbing it, right? You can say that you've read a book, but do you understand? Do you understand what the person is speaking about? My plan is to help people with that. It's to start from the beginning with hermetics, with the 7 foundational principles of the universe that hermetics teaches. And we'll also go into the 8th hidden one, which is care. That I believe the hermeticists just missed, or it's so over-encompassing that they didn't really try to include it. Anyway, that's more for the next episode. So thank you for listening. Please be ready to receive some information within the next 2 weeks pertaining to the basics of occultism. Once you understand the basics of occultism, you can read with understanding, you can go and seek information with understanding, and then you can apply it to your life once you figure out the truth of it all. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I will try to get to you guys in another 2 weeks. Like I said, it's a lot of information, and I got a lot of things going on in my life, but I will try to get this information out. It's very important that we all know the truth. Okay? This is Matt, signing out.